Provincetown always was a good movie town from the very beginning. From Bill Schaefer, when he had the art cinema, when I was first here, he had the best foreign films. He was a really good, showed really, really good movies. From the moment I came here, it was a good film town. I think it always has been. I don't think that's new. I'm glad with the new people that have the theater. I think they're doing a great job. Fran Schaefer was a friend of mine. Obviously, Monty, every person that owned a movie theater here has been my friend over the 40 years. You know, why wouldn't they be? You know? But I think basically that when I first came here from the very beginning, it was always a good movie town. I don't think that's new. Just because they have the festival before, Bill used to show the rarest of foreign films and everything. He had really good stuff, really cutting edge stuff before anybody else. So I don't think it's so new. I think it's always been like 64 was the first year I was here, but just for 2 weeks.
Oh.
That was the first year I ever came here.
I thought you came the same year I did.
64 I came with.
Just for
2 weeks.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean.
And that's when I met Flo.
No, she didn't come till 66 because she came with me.
I was here in 64.
She came with me.
First summer, she was maybe only here for a week too.
Well,
you know what I mean? She was staying with someone else, and I stayed on her couch for a night.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how and then I didn't know Seek till way later. I met Mink up here the next summer.
Yeah, right.
Or maybe 2 summers later.
No.
But I only came once for 2 weeks in 1964. That was the very first time I came, and I just hitchhiked here. And I stayed at that apartment building on, but I wish say the first place I ever lived, which is on Bradford Street. It was upstairs, the second floor, and the first night the landlord came in and tried to fuck us both, and we just started laughing. That was the first night that I ever stayed in Provincetown. With my girlfriend. It was that long ago.
That you had a girlfriend?
Yes, yes, yes. And she was a great girlfriend, and she was in some of my early movies, and that's a whole different story. But she was fun. Yeah. You remember?
Yeah,
she was
sure.
fun.
Yes.
So that was when I first came, and I couldn't get in anywhere. I was under 21. You know, in '64 I was born in '46. How old was I? 56, 66. 18. 18. And I just stood outside of A House every night. And to this day, I genuflect when I walk by. Reggie is a holy person.
Yes, he is.
And so is Mira. Mm-hmm. And I like to watch her. I always was a voyeur, a Mira voyeur. Mm-hmm. And the whole family's holy. It's the cracked Kennedys of Provincetown. And the house is beautiful, and I love every one of them. Mm-hmm. And I still go in the A House and just remember the history you feel. I saw Judy Garland drunk in there.
Right.
So it, to me, even though I don't hang out in the A House, it's not my place. I still go there some and just genuflect when I walk by. And I remember that song, Summer in the City, playing a lot out front when I would hang out, because I couldn't get in. But I hung outside, the same way I hung outside Marduk's bar in Baltimore before I could get in.
Yes, I remember you doing that.
Yeah, I hung in alleys in bars where I couldn't get in before I was 21.
I remember that well.
Yes.
I could go in and you couldn't.
I couldn't, because I was a chicken.
That's right.
And then I worked in the bookshop later for Molly Mullen Cook. And I worked for him 2 years before, the East End Bookshop. Yeah. And then later I went to work for Elo and Joel, who I'm still great friends with both of them. I see Molly and Mary almost every day.
Remember you in those yellow sunglasses looking out the front window?
Yes.
Provincetown
With posters for the movies in right. Yeah. I love the Provincetown Bookshop. I mean, it's part of my day still. I look in the window every day there.
I do too.
I still buy my books there. I mean, my routine in Provincetown has actually changed little over 40 years in a way. I'm obsessive about what I do and order every day. It doesn't cause me harm. It's not obsessive neurotic. Because nothing bad happens to me because I do it. But my days here are generally, I have a routine.
Structured.
Yes, structured.
Structured.
Would you like to hear it? No. Would you like to hear an obsession? Okay.
Sure.
I get up at exactly 6:30 every morning. Monday to Friday we're talking about. 6:30 every morning. I look at the water for a second. It's amazing. I read the New York Times, which I have delivered, the Wall Street Journal and USA Today. Then I have my tea and my one piece of whole wheat toast. Then I go over to what used to be called the Patrician Shop. I don't know what they're all called anymore. I call all the shops what they were called 30 years ago. No, it's not. It's Teddy's. I don't know. But I love that store.
I don't know.
And I get my New York Post and my New York Daily News every day. There are 20 of. Then I come in, I read them, then I start work every day at 8 o'clock. I work till I write. Whatever I have to think up that I make my living from is done by 11 o'clock before the phone starts to ring. Everybody knows not to call me then. Then my office calls. Then the faxes and the phone calls start. Then at 11:45 every day I have lunch. And then at 12 o'clock I go to a beach, one of three. I ride my bike out to where all the bicycles are, and then go right in the middle. If you go to the left, it's gay, nude, and then sex. If you go to the right, it's lesbians and families and parking lots. I go where no one goes, but lately there's been shaved balls and nude families, which I'm trying to avoid. Then, if I don't go there, I hitchhike to Long Nook, always with a hitchhike date. I don't like to do it by myself. And I usually get a ride the first car. I have a sign that I use. It says Long Nook on one side and pt1 on the other. I love doing that. I do that a lot. And then if I don't go there, a friend picks me up and I go to this other beach, Brush Hollow, that has the most beautiful walk through the woods, but you have to go in his truck because he has a parking thing. Those are the three beaches.
That beach I don't know. You have to show me that
Beautiful,
beach.
beautiful.
I've never been to that.
No one goes there. That's why it's good. So those are the three beaches I go to. Then I come home always by 2:30 and I'm back to work. And then I work till about 5:30 or 6 running my filth empire. And then at 6 I always cook dinner for myself, which I love to do. Oh, on the way to the beach I have a paper route every day. I go to the post office every day to mail things, and I drop off all my fashion magazines to Pauline, who has MAP, my favorite store in Provincetown. Every day I bring her Women's Wear Daily and the fashion magazines. Now I have another paper route. I drop off to Dan Minahan, the film director. I give him all my trade papers, Hollywood Reporter, Daily Variety, Box Office, all the trade papers.
Oh, so you don't have to recycle. That's great.
Yeah. And then in the afternoon, I go over and visit Mary Oliver and Molly Malone Cook for about a half hour, and I bring them the other magazines once I'm finished. And that's in the afternoon too, usually around 4. Cook dinner for myself every night. I always go to A&P. Sometimes I go to Clement Ursi's to buy their carry-out food, which I love. And then at night, during the week, I either go to a movie or take my nightly bicycle ride through town. Just like the drag queens are out every night at a certain time, I ride through town a couple times, see who's around, talk, sit around, do a couple visits, and then read. Friday night, I always go out drinking. It's party night. I'm a coal miner with a paycheck in his pocket. But I go to straight bars because I like to identify with outsiders, right? I've been going to the VHW. That's my favorite bar. And they don't like I go there. I've only been there once, but I like going there. And otherwise, I go there first, where they're not especially friendly. Or but that's all right. I don't blame them. I wouldn't be friendly to me either. I shouldn't be in there, right? I'm 1Y. That was my classification. Talk about volunteers of war. Believe me, that was when they take hairdressers first.
That's
right. Hairdressers and drug addicts first, then you. That was my classification.
Oh, God.
Then I go either to the Old Colony or downstairs to Bradford are my favorite. And, but I also would like to go to the, what's that one, the bar, the something house, next to the boat slip.
The Martin House.
Yes, I like that bar a lot. It's very Tennessee Williams to me. Sometimes I go to the Euro upstairs, and sometimes I go to the A House just to see, like scary bears and that kind of thing, But the most ludicrous is the upstairs one. What's that called?
The one, you mean the porch bar?
No, not that.
Matcha
one.
bar.
The matcha
Oh,
bar.
the
When I go
matcha
up there,
bar.
I like to go up there just to make them uptight dressed in cum de garçon. Right. I go up there looking so out of place, so like Don Knotts. But I like to go up there and just, excuse me, I'm a plainclothesman, because that's what you're supposed to look like, some kind of uniform. That's all I can think of to say. And they don't stop me, but they just look, oh please, you're not going up there, are you? So I like to, because S&M looks so stupid at the beach. It really, you can't pull it off. It's the dumbest looking thing, no matter how cute you are or how much you're into it. At the beach is not the place for it. And so Saturday I always go to Clement Ursi's to eat the exact same thing, pulled pork, baked beans, and coleslaw. And Sunday I usually go to different beaches and relax and read. That's my obsession all week in Provincetown.
Well, I would call that structure.
But it doesn't bring me anything bad. I mean,
Sounds like fun to me.
it's like a lovely life
Sounds
here.
like fun.